Hello everyone and welcome to Chef Shelley's Kitchen. So if you saw my episode on our snacks, parfaits, you'll recall that we are away on vacation, and so that's why the kitchen looks a little different, but hey, I cook wherever I go. One of the nice things about being on vacation, for some people, you know, hey, I don't have to cook for me. It gives me a chance to do all kinds of fun gourmet stuff in a leisurely setting. So today we are going to cook for you a broccoli and tomato quiche, and I'm going to share with you just the main ingredients that we're using. While I'm going through this, I actually have hot water boiling, so I'm going to pause in a moment, put the fresh broccoli, clean broccoli, in the steamer, so that's just barely cooked, and then I have the pie crust already in the oven. What you want to do is make sure your pie crust is just a little bit brown, so not fully cooked, just a little bit. Make sure you poke holes in it, and I use a deep dish pan so that it doesn't overflow. You're going to see I will likely have more stuff than I'll have room. So what I'm going to do is I have, you know, I like to make things healthy. I have 4 egg whites and just 1 whole egg. And I'm just whisking this around like so. And what I'm going to do to that is I'm going to add, I've got 1 cup of milk. This is organic, 1% milk. And I may not need as much of this. We're going to see once I pour it in. And I'm going to really kind of just put enough pepper to cover the top. And likely I'm going to add more. Here's where I'm famous for this. You know, I don't measure it out because you should do it to your taste, okay? So we've got the egg, the milk, and the seasonings all ready to go. All right, so I'm going to stop the video now so I can put the broccoli in the steamer. We'll come back once it finishes steaming and the pie crust is ready, and then we're going to assemble all of the great ingredients, okay? So, be right back. Okay, we're back. I have steamed the broccoli. Now, you don't want to make or overcook the broccoli. You want to make sure it still has some firmness to it because it still has to cook in the oven. So I've kept mine on for just about 5 to 7 minutes and just steam. So you want to keep all the nutrients in it. You don't want to boil it, but just put it in a steamer. So this is the pie crust. As you can see, it's got a nice little firmness to it. You want it somewhat cooked so that all the ingredients can lay in it pretty well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just basically going to scoop the broccoli. And this is, as I said, going to be a broccoli tomato quiche. So we're going to put enough broccoli. And what I did was I had 2 bunches, and that's really quite a bit. And I'll show you here as I get this out of the way. That's quite a bit of broccoli. That's 2 bunches right there. So you want to just kind of evenly spread it around so you don't have too many holes. And then at the same time, what I did is I have just about 3 Roma tomatoes. Let's just put it like that. It's about 3 Roma tomatoes. And we're going to just put this in here like so. And it's very pretty. What I did was I sliced most of them, and then I had some cherry tomatoes, some grape tomatoes, I'm sorry, that were ripe. So I have them in here, and I didn't really slice those because those are very ripe, okay? So looking quite delicious. Now what we want to do, let me put this here, is we've put our seasoning, remember, in our eggs and our milk in here. So now what you want to do is just kind of pour enough in here to cover it. And then we're going to top this with cheese. Okay, So don't overflow. Make sure it's gonna stay inside the pie. All right, let's just move these kind of out of the way so you can see. You can see it's not running over. It looks quite delicious. And now we're going to just top it. And this is mozzarella cheese. I did get the low fat. You know, they have the low calorie version. And so you want to just, and this is going to look and taste totally delicious. Remember, I didn't measure out the salt and pepper for you because you need it to your liking, not my liking. I personally like a lot of pepper, but I don't like a lot of salt. And you don't want a lot of salt in your food anyway. Sodium count, you need enough, but not too much. I think I told you guys the story about how my doctor told me because I wasn't eating enough salt that, you know, all things were well except I needed to drink less water and eat more salt. I never thought a doctor would tell someone that, but I had gone to the extreme. You do need your fair share of sodium. Okay, so that's nicely covered like so. Make sure it's not falling off the edges because we don't want it cooking on the oven floor. We like cheese here. Okay, I think that's going to do it. I'm going to give you a little look at this. You can see how delicious that looks. So simple, very healthy. And so we're going to go ahead and put it in the oven. I have it on the oven now for 350. Again, the amount of time you're going to need will vary depending upon your oven. But let's go on and put it in, and I'll at least tell you how long it took this particular one to cook at 350. Okay, so we'll be back. Okay, so you can see the quiche is ready, and it was in the oven for just about 50 minutes. Remember, it's going to depend upon your oven, but the best thing I can do is at least show you how it should look. So as you can see, it looks nice. It's still warm, so I'm going to be careful. Nice and brown, and we're going to look at the inside. So I'm going to go on and cut a piece so you can see. And actually, as I'm doing that, you can see, whoops.
Tomato.
So my tomato popped out. It's not going to be easy, so let's try to, I'll tell you what, put the plate over here so we can not be as pretty as I'd like it to be. But you'll see how cheesy, ooh, this looks so divine. Okay, so pie aside, you can see how scrumptious. Again, I'm not going to eat this right now because it just came out of the oven. You can still see some of the heat, but how delicious that looks, how healthy it looks. You've got your cheese and it's just filled with great vegetables. Totally delicious, and this is my dinner, so I'm looking forward to it. I hope you found this to be helpful. Again, if you want to add a little more seasoning, this should be to your liking, so you can always just add a little more salt or pepper after it's done. So another dish, delicious, healthy, and simple. Hope you will enjoy it as much as I'm going to. And I hope you have a great week, and stay tuned. Remember, share, share, share. Bye-bye.